What's up? This is Marty Friedman, and this is
Yossi.
loudguitar.com.
Yeah.
Okay, Marty, welcome in Holland.
That's good to be here.
You came over from Japan because that's where you live for the last couple of 10 years. Can you explain what is your fascination for Japan?
Well, there was a point where I found that I was listening to Japanese music 100% of the time. Not 80%, not 90%, all Japanese music. For what I was listening, from my own personal taste of listening. And I'm like, I really need to be where the music is made that I want to listen to, you know what I mean? Because I was doing some kind of work with Japanese artists from America. And I'm like, I really got to get over there and do what I want to do and be in the part of music scene where I'm really enjoying the music. And so I just decided to become a part of the domestic Japanese music scene now.
And now that you've been there for 10 years?
About 8 years.
About 8 years. Can you explain what the main differences in musical culture between America and Japan?
It's a long question, long answer, but for me, music is all about every single person has their own different taste, and there's no explaining anyone's taste, and there's no value to anyone's taste. Everybody's taste has the exact same value as one other person, one other person, one other person. For some reason, the sound of what the music scene is over in Japan, there are so many things that appeal to me that I get off on. But to give you a more direct answer, I think there are much more ways to express yourself musically in Japan than there are in America as an artist. I think the main rule in Japan is if the melody is very strong and understandable and memorable and well thought out, any kind of interpretation goes. So you can go from the most extreme metal thing to some kind of chill out groove to some kind of techno disco thing to some kind of pop thing to some kind of like girly Britney Spears thing. It can all be in the same artist, and it's totally cool. So people can really show a lot of different sides of their musicality, whereas in America the genres are separated. Like if you're a metal band, you have to stay metal. If you're an R&B singer, you can't all of a sudden put out a metal track or something like that. That whole concept is non-existent over there. People, I have a whim to do this. So like someone who might be known as a full pop singer might call me, because I'm pretty much known for metal. They might call me and let's say, Marty, let's do a collaboration. And then I'll do something total metal for them. And for them, it's like a big new step in their career, and people are loving it, and they're getting new fans. But in America, if you were to try something as crazy as that, it would probably be not received so well. So, like, to sum it up, I think there's a lot more musical freedom, at least for the taste of music that I have.
Yeah. So you have really adapted to the Japanese style then?
Oh, yeah. Oh, even before I moved there, I was probably, my mindset was already that way.
Yeah. So you really feel more Japanese than American now?
Yeah, I don't want to say that. I mean, I'm American, red, white, and blue, especially when I come over to Europe, I feel like it. Yeah. But, I think musically, I'm a big explorer type of dude. I like to, if it's not new, I'm already bored. I have to continuously pursue new ways to express myself musically. And it's a very selfish thing to do, but as an artist and musician, it's just my responsibility to do it.
Yeah. So how does that translate then into your new album?
My most recent album is Tokyo Jukebox 2, which just came out here in Europe, and it will be coming out in America on November 20th, I think. So I'm extremely excited that the album is a worldwide release. And what Tokyo Jukebox 2 is, it's part of a series. Tokyo Jukebox 1, the first one, was just me playing a bunch of my favorite Japanese songs that everybody in Japan knows, and they know them from being like pop song or dance music or whatever, rock or traditional ancient Japanese song or whatever. And I just totally destroyed them and made them full-out aggressive guitar Olympics kind of thing. Not like guitar competition Olympics, but just like what people expect from my kind of guitar music, just playing my friggin' ass off. So it was actually the most challenging work of my career, because I had to take songs that everybody knows, at least everybody in Japan, and totally destroy them and make them completely my own, whereas you still know what the original song is completely and get a better interpretation of the song. And I'll be playing some of those songs live tonight. But yeah, I mean, it was a great success for me, the first Tokyo Jukebox. That's why the record company had me do Tokyo Jukebox 2, and I'm begging to do a can't even say the word, Tokyo Jukebox 3, because I've got a lot of songs that I love to do for it, and it's just so fun to play in countries where they don't know the original versions, you know. So
so how was that received in Japan?
It was great. It was really great, and like the best thing about it was the artists that have done the songs have come to me and said, "I love your version of the song. You know, thank you for doing it. It's really, I had no idea it could go that way. It really blew me away, you know." And I did a lot of stuff that you would really be surprised if you heard the original versions. I mean, I'm talking about like Barbra Streisand type of singer personalities there, and all of a sudden I'm playing the song and it sounds like friggin' Cannibal Corpse or something like that. You know, that might be kind of an extreme comparison, but to them, that's about the way it was spread out. So like, I had to really make it as creative as I possibly could and do it with as much love for the original version as I could, to get them to really enjoy it. And in a lot of cases, you have to get the artist okay before you can release a cover of it. And the hardest one was a song called Gift on the first Tokyo Jukebox album by a group called Mr. Children. And nobody covers their songs. They're like, I guess, maybe the Chicago of Japan. I mean, they've got lots of huge ballads and just a major dome class act. And nobody covers their songs. And I did it. It was the longest wait for an okay that I've ever had to wait for. But I'm like, you know what, I'm going to do it. I'm going to complete it. And if they don't like it, then too bad. Then I'll just scrap it. But like, I really did it to the hilt, and I had no expectations of them saying okay, but they did, and I was just ecstatic.
Yeah. So, do you have an idea how people's response was in countries where they don't know the original songs?
Yeah, I mean, like last year, I played it all over Europe. I played a whole bunch of my Japanese songs all over Europe, like I'll be playing this time. And a lot of people just think it's another one of my songs off my solo records, because it sounds like something that could be off, you know, Bad DNA or Dragon's Kiss or anything like that. It's just, it sounds like me, for better or for worse.
Yeah, yeah. And for those people that don't know, you are also a TV personality in Japan?
Yeah, it's kind of a crazy like turn my career took over there. When I was in Japan for maybe about 2 years or something, and I was touring with some famous singers over there and doing some of my solo stuff, and I got asked to do a TV show. And I didn't really want to do it because the premise was kind of goofy. It was kind of goof on all these American classic hit songs, to goof on them and mix them with Japanese music. And I'm like, I'm not a big fan of like classic American rock and stuff like that. I'm not a big fan of that. Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple, and all that. But it didn't turn out to be that, so I'm happy about that. But it was kind of a comedy show where they kind of take the piss at rock music in general. And I did it, and it was a brand new show, and it became a huge hit. And from the first day of the taping, the management company, the biggest television management company of Japan, said, "You got to join our company right now." I didn't have any management over there at the time. So as soon as I joined that management firm, just from the first day of taping, I've probably done 600 TV shows since then. Major commercials, banks, Coca-Cola, the whole thing. So most people over there know me from something that I've done on TV. And then the lesser part know that I'm a musician. Yeah. And then the lesser part knows, like the international music fan might know about Megadeth and Cacophony. So it's kind of like that strange, it's like a strange variation. Like, dude, I'm a musician.
Yeah.
But like,
so
when
you feel like a musician still.
Ah, absolutely, because like I'm doing so much music. Yeah. I'm doing so much music all the time. That's what I do. And actually, I rationalize doing the television to be able to expose people to my music, because otherwise, you know, especially with instrumental music, I mean, who cares? I mean, nobody listens to it except other people playing it, really. So it's that type of thing that if you can expose people to your music in any possible way. So that's the rationalization. Plus, it's fun, and you know, you got to do what you got to do. But it's very strange for people that know me and they see me on the street, but they don't know that I'm a musician. You know, that just even now freaks me out.
Just like the story of Ozzy.
Yeah,
he came at a party and someone said, "Oh, you're making music, wow."
Yeah,
That's interesting.
Yeah, I remember I did this one TV show. It reminded me, I did this thing, and the wardrobe person or the makeup person saw me like fiddling around with the guitar somewhere backstage or something. She says, "Wow, you're good at guitar, man." And then the other person from the show, like, "God damn it, he's a professional guitarist. How dare you say that?" But it cracked me up so much. It's like, wow, you can really play that thing.
So back to your album, Tokyo Jukebox 2. It has this total Japanese feel, but you recorded it in America.
Yeah.
Why was that? Because that seems a bit...
Why was it? Because the people at the studio that I love, called The Village in LA, it's my favorite studio. Favorite engineers. The whole studio is just, I just love being there and recording there. So I just planned to do it there. And plus, at that time, I decided to use guitars that weren't mine. All of other people's guitars. I had friends bring guitars, guitar companies bring guitars, the engineer brought guitars, the manager's friends brought guitars. So the whole room was full of guitars. Never seen one before in my life. And I'm telling you one thing, man, when you make a record, you should try it, because it's very exhilarating. Like, it's like somebody took care of this guitar, and somebody really loves this guitar, and this is his baby, you know, and they would love to have you play it on a record. So there's like a lot of emotion in there that's not really always there when you just have a bunch of guitars that come to the company, you know. So that was a thrill that I did on Bad DNA as well. And I'm going to always do it, because it's just, it's fun. It's like a candy store. It's like, let's try this, you know.
Yeah, it's actually a great idea.
That's wonderful. Yeah. And you don't have to bring your guitar in an airplane.
Yeah, that's what.
That's the real reason. Let's get to the point. I'm a lazy bastard.
So it doesn't take time to get used to playing different guitars, or is that the challenge for you?
Nah, there's no challenge. I can't tell the difference between any guitars. I'm playing a guitar tonight that I've never seen before.
Yeah.
His guitar.
Yeah. So you're playing now on a tour. Is this tour actually to promote your Tokyo Jukebox album?
That's right. It just came out in Europe this year.
Yeah.
And it's actually a 2 CD set. It's Tokyo Jukebox 2 and Bad DNA, which is all original.
Yeah. So how did this concept of the guitar universe come to life?
And should we change to the Yossi on this?
That's okay.
Yes, let's go to him on this one.
Well, actually, me and Marty, we met at his concert in Israel. And we shared the stage. He invited me to do one song together, and from there, you know, we hooked up, and we had a really good connection, and this continued afterwards. And he also played a track on my solo album, on Melting Clocks. And then we had the idea, and we spoke about that. You know, it's amazing to see that, you know, guitar is such a universal instrument, and that speaks to so many people in so many diverse ways, that everyone interprets this guitar, this instrument, these 6 strings, in such a different way. And we had this idea to do a tour that the main element would be the guitar, but to let the music of different guitarists from different flavors, different influences,
different
cultures, yeah, really the cultural differences, speak for themselves in such an evening every night in Europe, in this case. And that's how Guitar Universe was created, this exotic concept tour of cultural guitars. And naturally, Marty brings, of course, his own sound and unique sound signature and heritage from the various things that he's done. And I play for over 20 years now, you know, with Orphanland and different productions, the Oriental Middle Eastern scales with traditional Egyptian, Greek, Turkish music that I combine, and special Arabic scales. And Stefan is like, you know, a huge technique, you know, with the 7-string, is like this master virtuoso, and coming from Europe, you know, from a different angle, totally.
Yeah.
So we have it all combined on one stage every night, and you get to explore the different cultural aspects that everyone brings to the same instrument.
You guys have a plan to take it to Japan and to the US,
We'll
or
see.
South America, a lot of different cultures to mix.
We'll see. I mean, somebody yesterday had the idea of taking a guitar player from each country, you know, that would represent that country. You know, today's the second day of the second show, so we don't know, but like, the idea is kind of interesting, you know, and anything that will bring attention to interesting music that's got a lot of guitar in it is okay by me. And the point is, it has to be good. It can't, just a good guitarist doesn't turn me on in the slightest. Because in the audience, there's great guitar players. My guitar tech is an amazing guitar player.
Yes.
My assistant, I have an intern in Japan. He can play my stuff note for note. I mean, it's not a big deal to be a great guitar player. But what is a big deal is to do something that is going to interest people on a different level than just the instrument itself. Because any band in the world is full of great musicians. So you have to get over that and do something that people that are not interested in like theory or technique or playing an instrument, people who just want to enjoy music, and that's really quite a challenge when you don't have words and lyrics to get to people's hearts, you know. So it's kind of a challenge. So I think, you know, well, Yossi sings a few songs, but basically it's kind of a warped take on like putting three guitarists together and kind of mixing cultures. So if it goes any farther than this, I'd be very happy. But right now we're just exploring it.
Yeah. Do you have some names of players that really have your interest, that qualify the way
I haven't really even thought about it.
Yeah, me either. We didn't go that deep into it. We just had the basic concept, and we were very enthusiastic about it, and to see how it evolves further. But I know originally we wanted to incorporate a Brazilian guitarist, Kiko Loureiro, which was one option at the time, and it didn't really work out with the dates, etc. Finally, but he also combines like samba, you know, and kind of like you know, South America and stuff. So I think really that's the direction in a way, in my opinion, to find people that they do the fusion, they fuse into this instrument, their cultural you know, influences. And for me, you know, I grew up in the Middle East and listening to music from Egypt and Turkey and Yemen and places like that, and also Balkan music. From my father's side, my grandfather was Greek. He arrived from Saloniki. So all the Balkan music is all broken down, you know, in terms of beats. It's like you know, 11, 9, 7, 8s all the time, and it's something that you don't even count, you feel. So when I come to my drummer, I always have to remember that I have to explain it in bars and, you know, in beats, but we just feel it, you know. And we come in an area that it's natural for us not to play in 4 quarters. So.
This would be very beneficial for like American musicians to hear.
So the same also, like for example, you would use an Indian player from India.
Exactly. In India, that's the rhythmic aspects are huge, really fascinating, really.
I think you have a great lineup for this tour.
Thank you.
A great lineup. And is that also because the Marty has such a busy schedule with being his TV personality, and
he is.
that you got him.
He's a huge TV personality.
But that you got him to play on your album because
musician.
Yeah,
in
it's
his busy schedule. You played on.
Hey, you know, you don't really hook up with too many, you know, good friends on tours. You know, you meet some people and you play along. But I just met Yossi in Israel, and we just hit it off right away. You know, so like, you know, if we can do something for each other sometime, you know, it's my pleasure. And yeah, so those are the kind of things that are kind of fun to keep up with. And you talk, and sometimes ideas turn into something bigger than ideas, and sometimes it's just talking, but sometimes it actually turns into what tonight is going to be.
It's all about the music, you know. It's really not as a motto or some cliche slogan. It's really, music is really the universal language of us all, of everyone.